but it was actually an Easter service 17 years ago now that completely changed my life. And I would say is probably the reason that I'm here right now. I grew up in the church. My whole life, I loved going to church. I had so many friends in kids' church. I always looked forward to going to kids' church. But that's why I was coming to church, was for the social aspect, for the friends. And I didn't care very much about the service. I didn't care much about the worship. I didn't hate it, I didn't dislike it, but I wasn't there for that reason. One of my friends came. His name is Nick. I don't think he'd ever been to church before. I don't think he knew anything about Jesus. On the drive home, he asked a really simple question. Why did Jesus die for us? Because he suffered so much, and he didn't have to. Why did he do that? And I didn't have an answer. And I knew that I should. It's easy for you to come to church and to hear these stories, but it doesn't take root in your heart. I didn't have an answer, so my dad gave him an answer. But because I knew that I should have an answer, it broke my heart. That night, I open up my Bible and I read all of Matthew, because I said, next time I'm gonna know. And I read all of Mark, and I read all of Luke. I'm talking about one night. I skipped to the second half of John and I read the part of Jesus' death and resurrection. I stayed up all night reading the Bible because I said, next time I will know why did Jesus die for us. From that time on, I made a commitment that I'm going to read the Bible and I'm going to know what God's Word says and I'm going to take responsibility for my faith.